Good morning, my Harlem teachers. Um, Wanted to show you something. It's a add-on for Google Docs. It's called WriQ, and this is a simple tool that kind of tracks, especially the conventions, gives them scores on vocabulary usage, sentence complexity, and then also allows you, if you wanted to, use the rubric feature that is tied to the specific style of writing. So as you can find your add-ons at the top. This is something that you would have to go to get add-ons and type in WriQ, WRIQ. Once that happens, then this will show up in your add-ons toolbar. And then what I did was show the WriQ, and this is the box that shows up on the right-hand side of the screen. So you can see this is one of my narratives from my 8th graders from last year. And you can see that I set the grade level. Here's my student name. She doesn't mind that I use her stuff, so we're good there. You can see we have the genre types: narrative, informative, opinion, argument. So I selected narrative. This is a narrative. And then you can see a couple other things. Learn more about WriQ, send feedback. These are the people who make it. Text help down here. And then you score this document and go to dashboard. Dashboard is where you as a teacher get to see student data. Now, I don't have students, so to speak, so there won't be anything there for me. So I'm hoping that you will be able to try this out and give me some feedback on whether this is something that you as ELA teachers would find valuable. So I'm going to go ahead and score this document. By the way, I look for these things because as an English teacher, I know that when 130 kids or so turn in a narrative, 10 to 15 hours worth of grading usually to give them any meaningful feedback, it seems like. So we have a WriQ score of 96. This is one of my honor students. So some things in here will probably, like you can see, vocabulary is high, lots of correct word sequences. So that means there's not a lot of errors in here. You can see down here we have a key. So if there are some grammar errors, it'll highlight those, punctuation, spelling. Okay. Obviously, some of these um, things that are marked as spelling errors, there could be some changes in it. Okay. So maybe I can clear the error. I can call it something else. Maybe it's labeling it as a grammar error, but really it's a spelling error. I can mark those things off too if I want. Okay, so clear that error. Okay. This includes the whole writing, so I'm scrolling down within the whole scored writing segment. Okay, it's also, you know what? So this is something I had already scored in a different method, which posts the rubric inside of it. So that being said, I guess we should make sure that it is just the student's writing. So this is skewed the score. Either way, still demonstrating the features for you. I'm going to click on next, and now you see, hey, this should look kind of familiar. So we have focus and exposition, organization, plot, narrative technique, language. I could, if I had felt in my professional judgment without looking at any of the details, I could assign the total grade. But notice as soon as I go into that, I have the option of changing. So maybe the response, the narrative response, real, imagined, addressed all aspects of the prompt in an insightful manner. I believe that. Great. Um, Maybe I thought she could have done a better job with this. All I got to do is just click and change. Okay. You have this option for each one of these. Here's our plot development, vocabulary, conclusion. Some of the vocabulary, academic vocabulary here is different, I know, from what we use in class. But again, this is an option. Here's our descriptive quality, our dialogue, sentence structure, writing conventions, vocabulary. So even within all of this, even though it gives them that initial word count, could have, it's probably more accurate. You can be using the rubric features as well. And then I click save, and here's what I got. I have some exemplary, proficient, and progressing going on in here. See that there are some things that they would be working on in the area of grammar, punctuation, spelling. I can leave a little bit of feedback. Work this. um, and then maybe I'll even explicitly tell them to examine their own data. Some meaningful feedback or directed feedback. You can see down here we have some other things: error-free, 96%, total words, text maturity, and then time spent. And I'm not sure. Oh, that's because we had handwritten this first, so that's why it's only registering as time spent. So that's measuring the history of the document itself to see how much activity there was, and then an overall rubric score on a scale of 1 to 4. That's what we have. Okay, I hit confirm. Okay, and then what I believe goes on now is that I can see if I have data in my dashboard now. Student, here we go. So here is my student. Here's the document or the summary of the text, along with some of the maturity, the time, count, overall score. Okay, back. So anyway, if you find that that might be of value to you, I find it easier than some of the other rubric add-ons that have been added, and this is actually relatively new. So let me know what you think and enjoy and get back to me. Thank you so much.